All right. Hey, welcome to another episode of the Practical Wealth Show. So today is going to be a short, I always start out that way, but so we're going to talk about is the part, this is going to be maybe a three-parter. So I'm going to go over, and this is based upon some questions I get and questions I see coming over the grams or when the IG and when people ask me, what should I be investing in? And my answer is different, right? And what should you be investing? What is investing? What is the purpose of investment? So I want you to think of this. So the title of this episode are the three rules of investing. All right. And so I'm going to reference a couple of things. One of the books I would have you get, so I'll just start with this, is Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. And I think you'll get a lot of insight of what you think investing is, because most of y'all are not investing. So I'm going to share, actually, for those of y'all that are seeing this. Hold on one second. Let's do it this way. You'll be able to see my computer screen if you watch this on YouTube. I'm gonna put it up on YouTube, and if not, I'll explain it to you so you can just listen. Okay. So one of the things that we're going to talk about are what we call the three rules of investing, and you'll be surprised because, see, what I call an investment and what some of you call or your investment advisor calls an investment are different. Right? So, and my nickname is the contrarian after all. So, you should expect that, right? So, so let's talk about, let me find it first. All right, I can't find it. All right, so maybe I might just talk it because I can't seem to find it. Really? Let me just do a screen share, maybe. Oh, there we go. All right, let's share screen. All right, so here we go. That's actually not what I want to talk about. All right, let's see. Maybe this is too small. So sorry for the technical mishap. We'll maybe edit this part out. So what happens is, let's talk about, I can't show the presentation mode, so I'm just going to show it right from the deck. So let's start with what is an investment, because people will ask me, they'll say, well, what should I be investing in? Actually, if you don't have 3 or 4 months of your income in savings, my first answer is nothing. Okay, because you're not ready. All right, now that's not what you want to hear, because y'all think that investing or the key to building wealth is investing, i.e., to find better investments that pay a higher rate of return. So you are all just chasing returns. All right, and so I don't think that's what investing is. And investing, we teach our 5 principles of personal finance, which I'll go over later. If you'll email me at kurtmay@gmail.com, or you'll text the value of liquidity to be the bank to 55444, and we'll send you our report to value of liquidity, and we will follow up with the 5 rules of personal finance. So principles drive strategy, strategy drives tactics, right? So investing is literally number 5, and then we invest for cash flow, not capital gains. Okay. So most of y'all have heard of Warren Buffett. A lot of you have not heard of his mentor, Benjamin Graham. So he has a book called The Intelligent Investor. This book came out in 1944. And it's the interesting thing, it was about the stock market. Okay. And the first chapter is investing versus speculating. And so which is interesting is that he made a clear delineation between what is investing and what is speculating. So in his opinion, so this is when if you study as a book called The Joy of Compounding, which is a case study, and I'm about to buy the book The Snowball to study Warren Buffett. But in investment, they're disciples of Graham Value Investing, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, and there's another big guy, I can't think of his name right now. And he says an investment operation is one which, upon thorough analysis, provides safety of principal and an adequate return, operations not meeting these requirements are speculating. Okay. So now think about your 401ks and the money you put in mutual funds and your EFTs. Is your principal safe, right? You put in 10,000, 50,000, you're supposed to get back 50,000 and a return, okay? An adequate return. So nobody's doing that. So you're not investing, okay? You're speculating. Just so I'm not saying you shouldn't speculate, just know what you're doing. So I know there are people that are going to disagree with that, but um let's look at the second one. So here I'm just going to go over one. So the three rules of investing are, let me give it to you. But I'm only going to go over one in detail today. So invest in what you know, invest in what you can influence the outcome of, and don't chase returns. So I'm gonna find that most people chase returns, but let me give you some quotes, right? So risk comes from not knowing what you're doing, not knowing what you're doing. Warren Buffett. Okay. If you're not focused on enhancing your financial literacy and you're leaving decision making up to others, in most cases, they're going to do what's best for them and not what's best for you. Justin McDonald, he's got a great podcast and a book out called The Lifestyle Investor, where the emphasis is on cash flow. Kiyosaki, I want to say Kiyosaki, Sharon Lecter, but let's say Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, in the book says many people want to get rich or invest in investments that the rich invest in, but most are not willing to invest the time, and that is why only 3 out of 100 Americans are rich. And one of these three is inheriting that money. Okay. And so, investing, we always say, is not about buying something, it's about becoming something. So let's talk about rule number one. So rule number one is all we're going to talk about today is invest in what you know. Okay. And so the more you so when this is my filter, right? So when people say, well, what do you think about cryptos? What do you think about this and that? Do I know about it? And do I have time to invest in knowing about it? So I know people that are experts. And so for them, I think it's a speculative asset, but for them, it's not risky because they are experts, right? And you have to invest in becoming expert, but that's work. Like transformation is hard and most people don't want to do that. So Wall Street appeals to them. Okay. I just want to work and put money in my 401k and I want to work towards my number. And so you don't have to know anything. Their whole program is based upon telling you you're not smart enough. You don't have the training to personally manage your own money. So in so many words, all of that marketing says, give your money to us. Okay. I.e., let us charge you fees for 30, 40 years. And one day I'm gonna do a video on the magic of compounding fees, and you'll be shocked how much money you're actually paying. Most people we find are overwhelming. So if I do a asset allocation profile, most people are risk averse by an overwhelming margin. Ask yourself that. Ask people, listen, how much is money are you willing to lose? That when you do a risk profile, that's basically what they're asking you. Okay. My risk tolerance is 0. Okay. I mean, it is higher, but on money, because I invest in what I know, my businesses, real estate, to a lesser extent, but really my business is my best investment. Curtis is my best investment. I invest in me a lot, right? And so I did a show on this with so if you go look or listen to the show, look for a show I did with who do we do that show with? Kyle Christensen, right? Your natural tendencies hurt people, especially when it comes to investing. And so natural tendencies, the herd mentality. See, most invest for fear of missing out. Okay. Or everybody else is doing it, so it must be right. That's the herd mentality. The herd is going off a cliff. All right. The herd is broke. Okay. So I would not be following them. So my basic philosophy is the majority is usually wrong, especially when it comes to money. Most people are seeking the easy path. That is our natural tendency. So you have to fight that. Okay. And see, so you got to invest in what you know. You have to invest time in becoming an expert. So I'm going to give you a few objections. Oh, I don't have time. And so I want you to ask yourself, well, what the only pattern, what has worked for you in your life in anything that didn't require time and effort? You know, with the Malcolm Gladwell principle, people that are good basketball players, violinists, good at anything, they put in the work. There's no shortcut to success in anything. Okay. And cash flow is really important. So if you're going to invest, don't invest for capital gains. That's speculating. Okay. You want to buy assets. What's an asset that brings you back a check? So I want you to think about that. So when I teach people to be the bank, if you've seen this on IG, a lot of people calling me from that. That's storage, right? You still have to invest in understanding what you want to deploy your capital into. So you got to capitalize and then find things that you understand that make sense. Okay. And so becoming an expert, as your knowledge goes up, your risk comes down, right? And so you have to, this one has to take care of you for a long time. So stop having short-term. The other problem I see is short-term thinking. Okay. Um, Let me cover down here. So yeah, and so because see, risk does not equal reward. That's the other concept that I get, right? So you have to invest in what you know. So your number one asset is you. So what do you invest in? Your mindset, your skill set. What do you know? Skills and specialized knowledge. What makes money. If you're a real estate investor, you know how to read numbers. You're financially literate. You know how to finance. You know how to raise capital. You know how to find or attract good deals. You know how to manage property. Those are skills that you need to have just to be a good real estate investor. If you're in business, the three top skills in business are marketing, sales. Actually, four things: marketing, sales, systems, and people. So if you want to move the needle in your business, that's what you, and team building. I'll add another one. That those are the things that you have to get good at. So we're going to have a couple of courses I'm going to roll out shortly on marketing and how to grow your business without spending new money on advertising, without Facebook ads and that kind of stuff, and grow your business 30 to 50% in 3 4 months. How about you be interested in that? Let me know. Okay. So I know if I feel like making a course, but I've done it in my business, right? So those are the top three things. All that is in rule number one: invest in what you know. So what am I investing? I invest in my mindset. I invest in my skill set, like monthly. Are you reading 10, 12 pages a day, right? What are you listening to? What are you watching? Are you working to get in groups? I work all hard at getting in groups where I'm the dumbest person there, where I'm paying money to be in high level groups, right? Skill set. I work on my skills. I work on sales. I work on marketing. I work at being I want to be the best financial advisor on the planet, or financial educator is really what I do, because it's your money. And then networking. Who do you know? But with educational videos like this, it's really who knows you, because there are people out there looking for you if you're in business, but nobody knows you have the expertise you have. So you have to let them know. So anyway, that's our short talk on this is three rules of investing. Rule number one, okay, invest in what you know. And if you don't know, then your investment is knowing, okay, and learning how to do it. Stay tuned for episode 2 of this 3-parter, okay? And if you like this, you can email me at kurtmay@gmail.com. You can go to practicalwealthadvisors.com, click apply to work with Curtis, and more like this, keep subscribed to the Practical Wealth Show. Listen, like, share, leave us a comment, a positive comment. Thanks. Bye.